basically, I'm going to just give you the biggest secret up front. It is your ability to solve a problem, first of all, followed by your consistency of marketing your solution to that problem that will take you from 0 to multiple 7 figures. Solving a problem is all it's going to take. And being here in the room is where most of my problems got solved. Talking of problems, how good was the problem solving back in COVID when we couldn't get into a room with people to get help? Like, how many people? Problem solving in 2020, right? It was pretty creative, wasn't it? I don't know about you, but I saw some absolute moments of genius on the internet about how people were problem solving. It was pretty good, hey. What is it about an impending apocalypse that makes us all decide that we're going to suddenly change our diet to a staple of Mexican-flavored tuna? I don't know. There's something about when we reach a point where our problem's so big that we actually will consider changing the way we do everything and how we do it, how we dress, who we hang out with, how much we're going to spend on that. There was literally a point where I'm in the supermarket, right? Mid-COVID, dressed in my full disease protection PPE. I did have a really good prop for it, but it wouldn't fit in my bag. So everyone just laughed because it was going to be really funny. Thank you. And I'm having a fight with my husband about how to kill a zombie, putting in 523 cans of pickled asparagus as if I'm going to live off that for the next year. And I realize in this particular moment that we have opportunities where there are problems. Because this is when people will completely dislodge themselves from their reality, from what it is that they do every single day, and they will listen to you if you say, I've got a solution to that. And that is what your SaaS needs to be. Not a copy of somebody else's, not a copy of someone else's branding. Your SaaS needs to solve a very specific problem to a very specific group of people or an industry or some kind of niche. And for me, that has been absolutely pivotal to me being able to separate myself out from all of the other, I believe, 70,000 SaaS users. Is that correct? I think so. If it's wrong, I'm just looking at Paulson and blame him. So it's 2020, right? February the 2nd. I had a slightly bigger problem than where I was going to store 520 cans of tuna. I had an 8-day-old baby. And I thought, I'm going to take a whole day off for maternity leave. I know, right? Wild. Crazy entrepreneurs. I spoke to someone yesterday who's like, I'm going to retire. Was it Stephen? He lasted about 5 days and has got 10 new businesses since. How's the retirement going? It's not. Entrepreneurs, right? So I'm sat there, I'm like pushing the baby through the supermarket in my full disease prevention PPE, having a fight with my husband about zombies. And the phone goes, bing. Your subscription has just increased. Bing. Congratulations, your email marketing subscription has just tripled. Bing! Congratulations, your learning management system has just tripled in fees, starting next week. Brilliant. So that whole lunch break I was going to take for my maternity leave was spent going, how the heck am I going to afford to run my business? I've got 10,000 subscriptions. They're all tangled together like a giant snake's wedding. And now I've got to literally try and find 5 times the outlay for running my business. What? Who else has that happened to? Yeah, all of us. Hello, that's why we're here, right? So I thought, to you guys, having just spent, by the way, 15 years being all of their biggest ambassadors, there's nothing like being a bimbo blonde girl to get in front of the tech train. They tick a box. I'll take it, right? I'd made them millions of dollars, and I'm thinking, that's not very nice, is it? So to you. And I started doing some investigating. What am I going to do? How am I going to solve this problem? Can I blackmail them? That wasn't going to work. What can I do to solve this problem? I had been helping course creators. I'm a teacher trainer, by the way, and an amazing speaker, I know. I help people commercialize their knowledge, right? I help people take their knowledge out of their head and turn it into profitable programs, memberships, courses, services, basically commercialization of knowledge. Sounds really special. Most people just say that course creator girl, all right? So I had taken by this point 280,000 students through my programs. That's a lot of people. I know, thank you. So the problem kept getting bigger because now my phone went, bing, Sarah, did you know that this so-and-so email provider has just tripled our prices and you set me up on this platform? oops, Sarah, all of our prices just tripled on this LMS platform that you set us up on. Oh, what are we going to do now? So I started doing a little bit of research. How can I fix this problem? I jump on an emergency Q&A call with my students, and one of them says to me, Sarah, if you started your own platform, I would join it. And then the Zoom thing went, bing, me too, bing, me too, me three, I'm in. And I was like, hold my beer. So the investigations basically began. And that is when, through a very dear friend, who I will introduce you to at some point today, she's hiding right now, introduced me to High Level. And this is when my jaw dropped on the floor, and I thought, this is it. This is the solution. I have a solution to the problem. So I ripped out a massive, huge, sticky butcher's piece of paper. I stuck it on the window, got out one of my teacher board pens, and I wrote 50 beta testers by December. It was September, by the way. And I got to work learning the system as much as I possibly could, went all in the insides. Luckily, I was fairly familiar with pretty much every other platform out there, having been working really hard on setting other people up on other platforms. So the learning curve for me was pretty easy going, considering I'd basically been in training for 20 years, right? That kind of overnight success on a particular platform. So I was like, cool, I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to just go and tell the world, which, is like all 800 of my followers. I put on my best pair of fluffy socks because I was living in the most remote town in Australia at that point. I've actually only just learned how to walk in shoes, by the way. Very pleased with myself. I've moved to civilization now. So I thought I'd buy a pair that cost more than my first car. Woo! Just to celebrate, walk in. So anyway, I'm like, how am I going to launch this? I don't know. I've never launched a SaaS before. What does one do when one launches a SaaS? I didn't know what SaaS stood for. Geez, this was going to go well, wasn't it? So I was like, I know how to use Facebook. So I went onto Facebook. I pressed go live in my best pair of fluffy socks. And I was like, hey guys, big announcement. I've ditched this platform, I've dished this platform, and I've got rid of that platform. And I'm moving to someone else. Insert name of my own software. That big old piece of paper was right up on the window behind the webcam that I was staring into very excitedly, saying, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And over the next 12 hours, 754 people put their name down on my EOI to sign up. Love it. I just had about 7 people go, oh shit. Yes, it most definitely was one of those oh shit moments, which I'm going to be sharing with you today because it was more of a poo-nado than an oh shit. But first, let's just have some more glory because I'm here right now and I'm so excited. So what happened then over the following 12 months is lots and lots of falling down, lots of poo-nado moments, lots of calling people saying, help. But basically, in that time, we grew to become Australia's most dominant SaaS. I think I can confidently say I think we were the largest one. And we also grew so quickly in that period of time that we reached a valuation of $15 million. Woo!